Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good morning, everyone. Phil Penarski here with the Wood TV Live Desk. Hope you're all having a great start to your week. And happening later on this week, the Grand Rapids Public Museum will be hosting two events in collaboration with Gilda's Club for this year's LaughFest. And to talk a little bit more about those events and the partnership itself is Sarah Olson with the Grand Rapids Public Museum. Sarah, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Sarah, I guess just starting off, we want to talk a little bit about this collaboration between Gilda's Club and the Grand Rapids Public Museum. Why was it important for the museum to, get in touch with Gilda's Club and be a part of LaughFest this year?
Yeah, well, Gilda's LaughFest has been around for several years, and we've partnered with Gilda's before, and we've just had great success with it. A lot of the values of Gilda's LaughFest align with those of the museum, which, if people are not aware, Gilda's LaughFest has a history of doing this fundraiser. Gilda's Club Grand Rapids has a history of doing Gilda's LaughFest fundraiser, and all the proceeds go to helping cancer research and cancer relief, and a lot of different variations of that. As their motto is, laughing through it and kind of helping people who are living with a cancer diagnosis just kind of find, their laugh again.
Right. Now we can sort of get a little bit more into these events. Again, there are two events happening this week, specifically at the Grand Rapids Public Museum, to sort of spread that message, as you were referring to, of trying to laugh through the struggles and everything else that kind of goes along with Gilda's Club's mission. But the first event is on Wednesday at the museum. It will feature both comedian Adam Deggy as well as juggler, I believe his name is Will Altman as well. So those two will be at the Grand Rapids Public Museum on Wednesday night. Can you touch a little bit more about what people can expect who do attend this? What can they see, and sort of a little bit more about the performers?
Yeah, so this is really exciting. We tend to do, very few after-hours events at the museum, and when we do, they tend to be, just for adults, whereas this is going to be a family-friendly event. There will be a cash bar available, but we will also have some of the exhibits open, so you can kind of check out some of them prior to the actual showing. And what's really cool about our performers is that you might have recognized the name Adam Deggy. He's been around Grand Rapids performing for a really long time. He has a long history here. And actually in 2009, he won Funniest Person in Grand Rapids competition. So he's got a really great track record of performing locally and just, being a very funny person. So I'm really excited for him. And then Will Altman is really cool. While he does juggle, he does describe himself as a variety act. So I can imagine that we're going to see a lot of different things coming from Will. He has been performing since age 10. He's, opened for U.S. presidents, university students. I mean, he's performed nationally with his variety act. So I think that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you mentioned Adam Deggy, of course, winning the Funniest Person in Grand Rapids back in 2009. So expect to see a lot of laughs on Wednesday night. But now we switch gears to Friday with the second event. Maybe a little bit different of a vibe, maybe something a little bit more for people who are fans of old-time films. Can you touch a little bit more about what people can expect on Friday night?
Yeah, so with the silent film and organ concert, this is actually new for our LaughFest involvement. This is something that LaughFest and the museum decided to partner on this year because we see a really big crowd for our organ concerts. And one way that we wanted to incorporate that into LaughFest is we wanted to offer something for, a crowd who maybe, stand-up is not really their scene. And so what we did is we incorporated Buster Keaton's The Cameraman, which will be showing alongside live organist Dennis Scott, who's going to be playing the score on the Mighty Wurlitzer in our Meyer Theater, which is super exciting for a lot of reasons, because films like this, it's pretty rare that you get to see them on the big screen. It's also pretty rare that if you do get a chance to see them, that they're being performed live with an organ like they would have been shown when they premiered. So it's really special. And that is also a family-friendly show. So if you have little ones who are interested in film, or if you're a young college student studying film, I think this is a really great opportunity to come out and see something that you wouldn't have been able to see unless you were in that generation.
Right now, and Dennis Scott, who will be performing on the organ, has actually been the official organist of the Buster Keaton Society since 2007. So that will be also a very exciting treat for those who come on Friday night. But both nights, there are additional benefits to going. Can you touch a little bit about some of the exclusive exhibits that people who do show up to these events can also check out, maybe before or even after the show?
Yeah, the one that I really want to highlight is our Power of Poison exhibit, which came to us from the American Museum of Natural History. That is going to be leaving the museum on April 16th. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, that's going to be a really great opportunity to come and kind of swing through and check it out before it leaves. We also are going to be opening the Streets of Old Grand Rapids, which is our 3/4 replica of Old Grand Rapids in the 1980s. There's not 1980s, excuse me, the 1880s. Very different than the 1980s. But you'll see the lamplit streets, and it's always a really good time down there. They have really wonderful shop displays. So.
Right now, and Sarah, of course, everybody's sort of interested in these events. I guess the big question now left is how can people sort of grab these tickets? There are different prices depending on your membership status at the museum, but touch a little bit how it is possible for people to grab some tickets to these two events.
Yeah, so if you want to check the events out in general, you can check out grpm.org/LaughFest. Or if you're ready to buy tickets, you can go to tickets.grpm.org, and you'll find them there. The cost is, general admission will be $25, but for members it will be $20. And of course, members do receive free parking in the parking structure. So.
All right, well, it does sound like a couple of nights of a lot of fun, a lot of laughs at the Grand Rapids Public Museum. Of course, we do have more information on the events themselves as well as those ticketing information that Sarah just mentioned over on our website, woodtv.com. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can find a link to the story with everything you need to know in the description box and in the comments section. All right, Sarah, well, again, thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate learning a little bit more about these events and really getting excited for LaughFest at the Grand Rapids Public Museum this week.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited about these events, and I think a lot of people will be as well.
Right, absolutely. And I want to thank everybody else for tuning into this latest edition of the Wood TV Live Desk. I'm Phil Pinarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.